Okay, first request, since we're not using this, can I have the lights, please?
Yes, sure.
I do not like talking in the dark.
Are there more speeches?
Yeah, basically, we're casting light in the situation, and there's a lot of enlightenment when there is light on.
Nina, I think that's all the lights. The rest of illumination is going to be done by your speech.
Yes, sir. So, members of Pinnacle Toastmasters, distinguished members who are here, distinguished members who come in for the first time, Mr. Murli, Damayanti, and all those who are here, welcome to Pinnacle's 250th meeting. Now, the word pinnacle by itself suggests a height, and it suggests that you've reached that height. But as Area Director Balmurugan pointed out, if we reach that height and we say, all right, now we're here, it isn't enough. What is next? I think of all those people queuing up to climb Mount Everest. Half of them have died in their next conquest. But the whole point is, what is next? And we're talking about what are the different steps we have as individuals, as Toastmasters, as professionals. Now, when I first heard about this meeting, I think the word of the day that was given to me was zeal. And zeal is a word that I really love. I'm going to use that word today to describe what we do in Toastmasters and to talk about how it helps you as professionals. Now, zeal by itself is a synonym of zest. It's a question of passion. It's a question of your interest in life. It's a question of the focus that you bring to any activity. And when you think about it, a lot of people say, oh, we have Toastmaster meeting today, but it's so difficult. I have a project meeting tomorrow. I want to go home early today. My boss may be coming. I'm going to have coffee in the car, guaranteed with my girlfriend. These are the kind of excuses that we have. But the fact of the matter is, if you have a passion, you will find the time for it. If you don't, you'll find an excuse for it. That's what we're talking about. In our professional life, in our Toastmaster life, in our personal life, we have to focus. What do we want to do? Where do we want to go from here? Once we are clearer on that, we will find the ways and means to get on to doing that. And that's what we're talking about. When you have a passion, you not only have a zest, your whole life begins with another word that is zing. Monday morning blues. Everyone says, oh, it's so horrible going back to the office. But if you don't attend your office work with zeal, with zest, with zing, you will, so relax about the clapping and not to worry about that. You will find that you have no interest in life. It's like, okay, I'm going there and that's it. But if you don't take your work seriously, if you don't say that every day what I am doing is important to my organization, is important to my future career, you will not pay adequate interest to it. That is why in every Toastmasters meeting, we have a general evaluator. The purpose of the general evaluator is exactly that of quality control in an organization. How did the meeting run? Can it be bettered? How can it be bettered? And if you ask yourself those questions every day at the end of the day, you will find yourself a much more proficient professional than you are today. What did I do today? How did I do it? How can I do it better? And how will I achieve my aim? Everyone wants to be promoted. Everyone thinks their bosses say, oh, how wonderfully Rajgopal is working or Patrick is working. At the end of the year, I'm going to give him a wonderful bonus. It doesn't happen that way. At the end of the day, there are so many of you competing for the same post. And it is not possible to promote 25,000 employees every year, giving them bonuses or whatever. So what is the extra edge you have? that the others don't. And I'm telling you, Toastmasters provides you that secret weapon, that competitive edge that will help you win over others. What do we have at a regular Toastmaster meeting? We have a set of prepared speeches. Every morning when you are meeting your manager, you'd better have a prepared speech ready, because otherwise the boss knows you have not done your homework. You have not done the assignment that you were given. You haven't reached the deadline. You haven't spoken to the client. You haven't spoken to your peers. You haven't done something. Get your speech ready, because you need to know what is happening. And every morning, let me tell you, if you have a team meeting every morning, every organization, of course, differs in that. If you have a meeting where you are prepared with the kind of data, with the kind of statistics, with the kind of relevant information that is required for that particular meeting, you will be an outstanding member of the team. And that's what you really need to understand. To be a member of the team is the most important part of any organization. Nothing happens on its own. No one person can lead, do everything together. Every single individual contributes. How valuable is your contribution is decided entirely by you. The second letter of Z, E. Energy, enthusiasm, and excitement. And for Toastmasters, the most important word, edutainment. Ralph Smedley once said, we learn most in moments of enjoyment. We have a great time at Toastmasters, and yet every single individual will tell you when they walk out of Toastmasters, they have learned something. Maybe it's a new word, maybe it's a new phrase, maybe it's a new way of doing things, maybe one speech that gives you a light bulb moment and changes your paradigm and perspective forever. But every meeting will have something for you. Look out for your Toastmaster meetings, because every one of them is one that teaches you something or the other. When you participate, you are a member of the team. You learn multi-skilling, you learn multitasking, and you do it without multi-mistaking. So that's what it's all about. How do we do it? How do we improve ourselves? We have to learn today to move across disciplines, to move across industries, to move across the world. In my generation, long, long ago, we only had to compete with people from other colleges, from other states. Every one of you today is working in a multinational, international, global environment, which means you are competing with people from the Philippines, Vietnam, USA, anywhere. Are you good enough? Are you better than them? Are you the best? Unless you decide to develop yourself, to learn, improve your vocabulary, to improve your level of English, to improve the level of your business communication, to improve the level of your interpersonal communication, you will never be a good, productive member of a team, neither will you be able to deliver as a manager. And for that, I have my own secret formula if you want to improve your vocabulary. It's very, very simple. Please note it down. WWW. Read whatever you can, whenever you can, wherever you can. So please write Nina John after that. Because vocabulary and words are the only way you can win with words in this world. If every organization has 20,000, 25,000, 50,000 employees, how do you make an impact? It's your signature at the end of an email. It's your voice at the end of a telephone mail. These are the only two weapons you have to stand out as an individual. And that is why the third A is attitude. Attitude without aptitude is of no use, but it's only the attitude that will help you improve your attitude in this world. If you want to grow, remember, those at the top do not concern themselves with data entry, what is happening here, what is happening there. They're looking at the long-term vision. What is happening in the future? What are the trends? What's going to happen 10 years from now? Is artificial intelligence going to take over? Or digital currency? Is cryptocurrency what's going to have the best way forward? Or do we still rely on a cash economy? If it's a cash economy, what is all the infrastructure that we need? If it is cryptocurrency, how does HCL deal with that? How do we change? What do we do? Who are the people in our organization whom we can upskill, reassign, and make sure that our organization is competitive in this world? So attitude is the next. And perhaps the most important, the L. Whenever everyone joins an organization, everyone wants to be the CEO. After 5 years of working as a project manager, you realize I have enough headaches with 5 people and 20 people. I'm not really sure if I want to be the CEO of 25,000 people. So that's that many more headaches, and that's that much more trouble. Do you have it in you to build yourself up to that? If you are, what is the focus that you have? What are the learnings that you have taken to? What are the learnings you are undertaking on your own? Do not expect the organization to give you learnings. You have to get out and find out what's important, why is it important. One of the things all of you are learning, PS, Java, Python, all the other things. How many of you have bothered to learn Spanish or French or German? If there's an offshore assignment and 2 of you are there or 5 of you are there with exactly the same qualifications, 5 years in HCL, 3 years on this project, this kind of communications and computer qualifications, who's going to get that extra edge? One who can speak another language. Think about it. Chennai, by the way, is the center for learning any language you want. Russian, Korean, Japanese, Italian, French, and of course English, although Dr. Raj won't believe it. But you do have English here also, and there is no other language, no other city in the world that offers you the facilities that we have. So learn to develop yourself. Now, if you want to be a leader, you must learn the most basic thing that we teach you in Toastmasters, which is how to listen. Now, all these many spouse jokes, believe me, if the wife hears them, it just goes in here and it goes out. But when you go home, are you listening to your spouse? Are you listening to your family? When you come into the office, are you listening to what your boss says? Or are you saying, okay, that's enough, I can get on with my job and go on? Learning to listen. When you learn to listen, what we do in Toastmasters, you learn to listen through small roles like your accountant, grammarian, and timer. You move on to becoming an evaluator. To be an evaluator, what are the skills required? 1, hearing the speech. 2, listening to it. And by that I mean the difference between hearing and listening, as somebody very nicely told me, you hear with your ears, you listen with your mind. So when you listen, you understand what the other person is saying. You analyze what that person said. What were the objectives? What were the idea behind that speech? Did that speech achieve the objectives? If it didn't, where did it fall short? If I'm an evaluator, the next most important skill. How do I give sensitive, tactful, specific feedback that will help that person do a better speech next time? And believe me, if you can give good evaluations at Toastmasters, you can give the best appraisals in your organization. When you give an appraisal where you're concentrating on the issues, not on the person, you will find your team will look forward to your appraisals and they will look forward to the idea that they can do better. Nobody will dread coming to the appraisals that you are conducting because A, you have told them something through the year, not just at the final appraisal meeting. Secondly, you have paid attention to them through the whole year and understood what needs improvement so that you have helped them become better professionals. So when you do that, you are listening. As people on the junior levels of the organization, you must understand it is only when you listen and only when you learn that you will learn how to lead. You cannot lead simply by a title. Any amount of academic degrees, any amount of work in another organization does not matter until you lead with sympathy and compassion. Learn to lead so that you can understand how your team functions. Only when you learn to lead with all the Toastmaster values, respect, integrity, service, and in pursuit of excellence, only then will you be a true leader. And that's what I'm saying Toastmasters teaches you, because Toastmasters, you come every week, you have a variety of programs. You get a perspective, you get an idea of different people, you meet a whole lot of people that you may not have met other than at the Toastmaster meeting. So that's one big advantage. You learn networking without a problem. You learn to interact with people of totally different backgrounds, totally different interests, and you learn how things can be done. You learn so much more. You learn multitasking, you learn multi-skilling, and you learn to do so much more and achieve your own potential. You learn the idea of servant leadership and the idea that once you take up a position for 6 months, you give it your full dedication, commitment, and deliver as required. And at the end of 6 months, you give up that title and you move on. You let somebody else take over. That's also an invaluable lesson the Toastmasters gives, which many corporates do not learn because they're so hung up on titles, they're so hung up on what we are now, they don't know how to proceed further. So Toastmasters teaches you that also. In summary, the word zeal. Have a zest for life, because only when you do that, you will achieve what you need to do. Get energy and enthusiasm in your lives, because when you are enthusiastic about what you have to do, you will literally infect your teammates and others with that same attitude. Attitude is what takes you further, that I can do it, I will reach the pinnacle, I will go further, and I can do it myself. And last of all, listening, learning, leading. I hope all these 4 will help you in your personal, professional lives. Mr. Toastmaster.